All right, in today's news and in the latest version of companies using AI to squeeze the juice out of their customers, Hertz is starting to use an AI scanner when vehicles are being returned, and they're identifying any damage that wasn't on the vehicle when it was brought back. And in a lot of cases, if you've ever picked up a rental car, whether it be to go on vacation or after a car accident, they usually have you sign a document on your way in or on your way out saying that there was no damage to the vehicle, and anything bigger than a quarter used to be the standard. Now, in this case, this article is saying somebody received a notice that they owed $350 for two dime-sized bumps on the rental. Now, you have to understand when companies do this kind of stuff, they're basically begging you to push back and go the legal route. And a lot of people won't have the time or the resources to do such a thing. Now, the technology that they're using is actually something that comes from a military technology company in Israel. And you can imagine what they were using this for regarding some of the barricades and things that they have, depending on what your religion or nationality may be. Now, they're starting to weave this obviously into the system of rental cars because they want to go ahead and remove the human element and just make sure that they can try and pad their pockets with as much money as possible. Now, the other interesting aspect of this is looking at just one example here where they got a $440 bill. $190 was earmarked for processing and administrative fees. That's all profit. They're not paying a person to review any of this. They're not paying a person an hourly wage. This is just their way of taking money from the customer. Now, the other side of it is, and you're starting to see this with a lot of business models, is even when you have a problem, you can't talk to a human being. We have to be careful as people in regards to allowing these companies to teach us how they're going to treat us, because we should literally stop using the companies that have these business practices and models, because they're ultimately putting you in a position where they can exploit you, they can press you, they can basically steal from you, and you can't even talk to a person to try and address the issue, discuss your disagreement, or try to mediate or remediate the problem as it is. So just wanted to share this article, and hopefully this is something that leads you to just be aware of where you're renting your car from. I think again, a company like Hertz is going to do everything they can, just like every other company. If you remember when cell phones came out, first thing they were available to everybody, it was this great thing, and then they figured out how to squeeze you by putting you into 2-year contracts, having cancellation fees. If people aren't hyper vigilant about what they're going to allow companies to do in using AI, we're going to find ourselves in a position where there's no humanity involved in any part of the process. There's just a cold, callous extraction of your money. And I don't think anybody wants that. So sharing this article, hopefully is something that, you can take and use as you choose where you're going to spend your money and do your business with. Because ultimately, if we're not vigilant now, we're going to look up in 5 years and these kind of practices are going to be baked into everything.